This is a very interesting moment because this is an open webinar for the people that was registered. It means the people that is here can do question, can ask, and I will answer. I will speak a little about the gates, obviously, and after we will have some question and answer, and I will even teach some exercise to do in order for you to be able already to experiment it and to get results. My webinar has a program, but I will change even accordingly to your question. Okay, Michael Bills, I see that you have a question before beginning, so please, Michael Bills is one of our students. We have an online course going on, so please, Michael, I listen to you.
I have trouble sometimes when I'm utilizing the gaze with the Pisa. Some people, I have a hard time with my gaze. All of a sudden, it feels like I need to blink or my eyes start to burn. And,
okay. I will speak about
I don't know what's going on there. You know, it's like we're having a challenge. Who's going to have the stronger gaze?
I will explain to you in a moment when we will begin, because we will have always a collaborative gaze when working with somebody. With the gaze, we can be transformative, but there are two main elements. We use the gaze with people that want to be transformed, in the sense that we help, we use yes, I know that there is people that use the gaze also for in an ethical way, but our goal is only to use gaze in an ethical way, to help change, to help people stay better, and so first is always to have people to work with people with whom we want to change. And you told that somebody you have problems, they will go away. They will go away with time, because I too, at the beginning, I blinked a little. Now I can stay as now, looking at the camera, always without problem. But we are a little too far now, because before I want just to give 2 or 3 ideas about the gaze. Just I have some slide here that I have prepared, just to open a little the informations about what we do. Some slide I already showed last time, so I will go very fast. Also, I present myself a little. My name is Marco Paret. I teach non-verbal hypnotism, the power of the gaze, and many ancient traditions. I entered in this world, it was many years ago, and was really was something that I didn't expect by chance. Was a friend of mine that was puzzled because he had known an hypnotherapist that lived near Turin, where I was in the period, and this hypnotherapist, this hypnotist, could look at the person in the gaze, in the eyes, and the person in a moment said me, like a corpse. And after the first person was smoking, he told him not to smoke, and the person had the problem, couldn't anymore smoke. The other person, he changed his name without even speaking. He told me, "It's incredible. I saw the eyes of these people. They were completely open. They didn't blink. The mouth was abandoned. I don't know. I searched on all the books that I could find, but I didn't find any description of such a state." In reality, at this period, there were some books about NLP, some books about Ericksonian hypnosis, and everybody did hypnosis mostly with closed eyes. And I should say that at the same time I began also to study NLP and other techniques, but they didn't because I thought that maybe these techniques could help me to understand. So I was one of the first after to diffuse NLP in Italy, but NLP didn't have the system that I in reality was I was seeing with the gaze. It had some power of stuff, but sure not what we were seeing. Once a day, we were still speaking, trying to understand how Virgilio, this is our master, was able to do such a feat, and we searched for this expression or some, I don't know, it was on the internet, and we found an old book that described exactly the person, how Virgilio was. And this was and so we began to see, and we see that this type of hypnosis was very well known in the past, was called fascination, was Donato very strong, and were many other people that did it in the past. And Virgilio and Di Pisa and also Chigi that we knew were the last fascinators. I was about in all the places where I could learn about the gaze because I wanted to learn it. I was also in America to try to find if somebody did it, but in America they didn't do it. We met Mon McGill that was still living, but he told, oh yes, I know, but he wrote a good book, but it's not so inside as we speak, but it's good. It's about hypnotism, Indian hypnotism, and it's very good. It can fit well with what we do. And I continued a lot to learn from Virgilio, from Di Pisa. Now it's very long to explain everything. I'd like to show you now some slides, some small elements, and the techniques that we diffused, that I found, get diffused more and more. I should say that when I opened the website about about mesmerism.info that now we are relooking and we will redo for mobile. It was the only site on the internet speaking about gaze, about mesmerism. After we saw people beginning to copy from Indonesia to other places, and now you can find some sites that speak about mesmerism, about crisis, about something. But I was the first one, and I know that everybody you can find copied. Or is one of our students, because we have some wonderful students also that work. And now I wanted to show you something about fascination, power of the eye. 2 or 3 concepts, basic concept. Why the gaze is so powerful. How to experiment, we can mirror, this is an exercise to understand. Go in front of the mirror, don't blink. This is an exercise that I suggest to everybody, because with this exercise, you will look at yourself and you will feel something. Obviously, to get this result, you must not blink. Somebody says, why not blinking? I answer, when you blink, in some way, the eye is connected in some way, the body and the mind are connected, and when we change idea, we blink. There are some observation of, for example, Argyle, that was he studied non-verbal communication. He wrote a book that is very well known, and in this book he told that many times the person that feels inferior blinks more often than the person that feels superior. That some animals look, and when one is stronger, it blinks less. Some psychologists observed that when we blink, we change mental diaphragm. And also blinking, in some way we interrupt our thinking, and we can think that when you There are also some discipline strata in India where you observe a point, you continue observing this point without blinking. And this is also good, very good for concentration, for studying, for everything, even for studying. When you learn, when you work with the gaze, you will develop a quality that is called will and decision going toward the direction. And because how we go into direction? With our gaze. And so go in front of the mirror, look at yourself, and you feel something. Most if you don't blink. Why so effective? This I told, mind influence study. When you do the exercise, mind will change. You will change thoughts less often. You will increase will. Obviously, if you are tired, and this is already an answer to Michael Bills, maybe you are tired. Blinking is connected also to subconscious stuff. And this is very important because sometimes we have we think to something and we blink a little more. Let's see something now very fast about the first step, for example, to learn hypnotic fascination. Now, not with ourselves, but with the pen. Yeah, what I told now, not to learn not to blink. And as you don't blink, you will observe the person inside her eyes. Notice this girl is observing now, is attentive, and she doesn't blink because it's attentive. When you are, but the girl watching doesn't blink. This one blinks a little, but now. Okay, I was forgetting this film. I walk it, but the second girl was already no more looking, even when I was okay. Okay, now she's attracted. Not a problem if she blinks because she's not so exerted as I am. Okay, and she was. Okay, the second girl was already entering a trance. At a certain point, as you observed, she was closing the eyes in a micro movement. This moment, she was already entering in a small trance. This video you can find on my channel if you want. Okay, in reality, I want to explain you because many people see this kind of reaction. Why the person follow you? Why when you do like this it happens? Because in some way the mind doesn't work anymore. In some way the person is no more attentive to what and so it can follow a movement. We say that there are 3 levels. First level is the person that follow maybe your eyes, your hand, your body. After you can have just the person following the movement because, and after we can have the person just following the intention. I want not to say that it's just the intention. Maybe the person understand our will because when we imagine something coming near, probably we change a little the height, the largeness of the pupil. But the person understands to come forward and backward. I don't know if you listen to the words, but in any case, level 2, we can bring in a person. Okay, this I advance a little because okay, these are movement. This girl now is still. I observe her how she blinks, and now okay, she's here. She has the. Okay, I go a little far. What I'm now I'm seeing catalepsy, and after I have her closing her eyes. When I close her eyes, she get in some state very similar to Esdail, which is an Esdail state in some way, but without speaking. And she go deeper and deeper inside herself. Now I stop this video because we have a lot of other stuff to see, but you begin to understand what is the gaze. The gaze is a way to, it creates an influence in the person will feel something and will react. It's not just hypnosis that you can do. I just want to show you the video. I should have a hyperflexibility video somewhere by this one, but I had also another one. Flexibility. Just a moment. I take on another slide. In the moment, if somebody want, I take just Femmina. Pouvoir du regard, je l'ai ici. Merde. Tiens. Femmina. Okay, should have it in the Italian version of the same slides. Okay. I do courses in many languages. Now I share again my screen. I wanted to show you this wonderful video. And you see, because it's normal, you can see as hypnosis, but let's see now this video that I have here that is very interesting about hyperflexibility. This video, slideshow. Okay. Okay, this girl. Okay, I want to say something. The non-verbal is deeper than the verbal. What does it mean? In reality, when we were born, we didn't speak. We learned to speak. So in some way, the first online is the non-verbal part of ourselves, not the verbal part. The verbal part is an add-on that we will get after. And in some way, the first stuff that we have, that we develop, is the non-verbal. Here you will see how changes not the mind, but the body. Okay, this girl, I'm looking at her. And I don't know if you have the sound. Okay, in any case, do you have the sound? No. Okay, wait a moment. I put the sound, I redo the video with a little sound. Okay. Okay. Okay, go back. Put a little less. Just. Okay, this girl, I just observe. I'm just observing this girl. And apparently nothing happened, but I feel that she can let go. And how let go? She looks at me and she begins to bend. Because with the gaze, we can create a state where the person can let go completely. And you see how much she can bend. And after she comes up. And this exercise is immediate. And after she was amazed by the results.
Subscribe to our channel.
It's okay.
You will have the possibility to discover the mysteries and the secrets.
I advance a little because there is something on this video that is also interesting. It was there. Okay, here we see again the reaction. I was convinced that there was another reaction with the gaze. In any case, why this girl could bend so easily? She could bend so easily because we, in some way, we helped the mind let go. And as the mind let go, the body let go, and so we have flexibility. Let's see one of my master, Erminio di Pisa. I mentioned it, now you see him. And he was in Milano. He was very gentle. First time I met him, he was very gentle. He invited me and a friend. We were there to eat in a fish restaurant near his house. He didn't know us, but he was happy that we were passionate about hypnosis. And he used the gaze amazingly. I show you now a little Erminio. And I copied some techniques. Here I put away pain.
L'ipnosi è uno stato di coscienza alterato,
nella quale I put the sounds a little.
sui processi inconsci del paziente, cercando di
looks
provocare uno
at
stato
the
di
person.
psicologica e una scomparsa o diminuzione dei sintomi.
And he makes disappear sensation and everything. And he did the transforming fascination. Could treat a lot of people together. Here you see some, you will see his eyes in a moment.
1, 2, 3. Muovi la testa, tranquillo, qui non c'è più niente.
Okay. Anxiety, bad habits, pain, pathologist. This is Mezzana, psychiatrist. He knew. And because with the gaze we can work on really a lot of stuff. The results are there in a few seconds, as you understand. It means we can put away, now the eyes. Look at the eyes. I continue his teaching. Okay, this is was my master.
Questo può essere molto utile da un punto di vista guaritivo per aiutare la persona a stare meglio. Dov'è? Che punto hai che è il dolore? Qua. Ok, fissami attentamente. Fissami qui. Molto interessante come gli occhi si bloccano.
This boat can go in another state very fast. I go fast at the end. I want to show you something. These people, I have a higher person at the end, I think. No, yes, I wanted to see. It's not necessary to be bigger, because some people say, yeah, you are higher and get result even if you are smaller. So this is use of the gaze, and it's not the flexibility you saw before, but it's another way in which you can put away pain, tensions, a lot of stuff, and something like this. And in this way, we create change in person. Some people can ask, but how can the gaze be so effective? I show you something that I do sometime in my seminar, almost every time. A live seminar. It's more difficult to do in online, but live I do this. I do almost every time.
Our intention can influence others and the universe.
Yeah, I'm speaking about the power of intention, but in reality, it's the power of the gaze. This in reality is an advanced technique we don't do completely in the, I should say, in the first course, but the basis are already there. The person sits here.
Try to sit in this.
This is in English, I can even put.
Try to sit on the third.
I make sit on the third seat.
Get up.
He can get up. Now I tell him to sit.
Sit again.
And now I block with the gaze.
Get up.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
This is the subtle, more subtle use of the gaze.
Not easy. No.
Gaze influences.
Stand up.
This is one of this is a student from Italy.
It's hard.
It's hard.
What is the most difficult? I think this. Okay.
Without speaking, we get people blocking. So this is non-verbal suggestion.
Trembling. Yeah, not easy.
This woman was from America. After everybody can tell, but I can say that the gaze was one of the most important elements we did here. I stopped this video here because I want you to present. You see the gaze. First exercise, I told you, begin working with the mirror. Second element, and this is an answer to my call, not an answer. When you begin to work with the mirror, the first element is beginning to try not to blink. After, there are many exercises you can do. Look yourself from one side, the other side, so your eyes muscle becomes stronger. In theory, you should work from 10 to 15 minutes each day, and in a month you should arrive to hold 15 minutes without blinking. This, I tell, is a theory that I read that you can read on many books, but in practice and practically, I myself saw that is not possible in modern world. This probably was more true in the past, where people was more calm, and normally you get more time. 2 months, 3 months, it depends. I should say that when I learned the gaze, I was not the perfect student, I should admit. I tell you that you should do between 10 to 15 minutes, but sometime I did 1 hour, sometime I did nothing. But what I can say is that I continued. That I did continuously during the different weeks, and so probably I could compensate what I lacked as perfect exercise with some sort of continuity. After I worked with people, doing sessions, doing courses, I did effort. When you are with somebody, try not to blink. Obviously, here are some little secret elements to know, because some people say, should I look in this case the person like this? No. If you are with a normal person, you should look normal. Even if you have a very strong gaze, you must not look not normal. You just don't blink, but your face must be relaxed, normal. You should have all the movement, all the expression that a person can have. And the gaze also has an expression that is very, very, very useful if you work with people. Try to have the gaze of attention or curiosity.
This is we call expression. So we can say that the first is working with the gaze, and second point is working with the expression. In reality, you do the same, the two. Obviously, you stay attentive. You stay very attentive at the beginning, very attentive. You have like a small pore here. You are attentive to this pore, very, very attentive. And you will create the gaze of attention. And nobody can resist to the gaze of a person that is attentive to him. This is also a very, very good suggestion in your office. I remember that when I began to work as an hypnotherapist, now I don't do too much hypnotherapy, but in past I did a lot. I had an idea in my mind. The idea was, I want that this person that comes now into my office feels that I feels my attention, and that in this office he found the person that is most attentive to him in his life. So I put a lot of attention. Attention, curiosity, and so on. And at this point, you will begin to have a normal gaze, interested gaze, curiosity. Also, curiosity is very good. And the only different stuff that you have from a normal person is that you don't blink. It's also a second question, because I saw now that there is somebody that is asking me from the chat. Is somebody that ask how to have a personal magnetism. A second element, you must be present to yourself. It means feeling yourself in your body. With each presence, presence is something very connected to what is called the power of now, or something like this. But what I found in the books about mindfulness, there are many books actually that you can find into the library about mindfulness, is that they are not so much in the body as we are. What does it mean? That sometimes I even looked at many of them. Kabat-Zinn is very good, somebody else, but they, about the body, normally they have one chapter. Make attention to your body. For us, is the foundational part, is the very most important. Everything else comes after. Visual, auditory are not so important as the physical part. This is an ancient tradition, I should say. But this ancient tradition in some way connects also with the Indians, that they do yoga, for example, that is all physical. And beyond the salutary aspects, it's sure that when you practice yoga, you should do attention to your body. The attention that you do to your body is present to your body. And the more you are present, the more you are dense. And the more you are dense, the more, in some way, you can have impact. Is the other time the other day that I explained something about the third eye. I explained some techniques about the third eye, but I told if you just do the final techniques about the third eye, they are good, but you will drain energy. If you are not present, it will drain energy. You must be present in order to have this energy come out differently. Coming to fascination, I could say somebody told the eyes are the window of the soul. Correct. So in some way, the soul must be strong. So if your soul is strong, people will feel it. So how to make a stronger soul? Being present and less in the thinking. Because if we are too much in thinking, how much thoughts have normal people? 50,000 each day? Are all these thoughts useful? I doubt that all these 50,000 thoughts are all useful. Maybe 200, 300, maybe 500 are useful, but all the other thoughts are trash, and they drain our energy. Our mind is not concentrated. When you read some books, many people read ancient books, they say, be concentrated. They try to be concentrated, but at the same time, they have a lot of thinking going on. And you cannot stop thinking if you don't stay in your body. This I could say is a second important secret I'm giving you now, another element. So be in your body, be present to you. And after you will get many results. In some way, you have some time, and the more you develop a presence, the more also you will change into yourself, and you will transmit this change to the other person. We can do work with the other person, looking them into the eyes, and have change just looking them. When we are present in some way, we transmit our state. Some people speak about mirror neurons. What are mirror neurons? The history go to a university where they were doing experiments on monkeys. And at the moment was a pause, and an experimenter was eating something, maybe a banana. And they saw that the monkey had the same reaction that when they gave him a banana, because there was a pause, and they had let the electrodes on the monkey. And they thought, why? How it is possible? I am eating. And she said she has the same reaction that when she eats banana. So it eats banana. So they began to do experimenting, and they saw that when we see a person, in some way we catch his state. And this is also very important. There is a big difference. Some people does. I want to outline some difference about what I do and verbal hypnosis, because here I think we have many people that knows verbal hypnosis or something like this. When you learn verbal hypnosis, I don't say that. I want to say I don't say that verbal hypnosis is not good. I say that it's good, but you lack. If you know the principle of non-verbal communication, 97 is non-verbal, 3% is communication, is words, or 7%, or 7 and 93. So it's not bad to do well the 7%, but it's important to do well also the other 93. And many people works on verbal hypnosis and works on words, but words in some way will never bring deep in the deepest states your client. Why? Because you continue speaking. You begin to bring them down, maybe, but after you keep them up, because they must understand what you are saying. With the non-verbal, we go directly. For example, I will teach you a technique. Sometimes I touch the person here. This point for the ancient Greeks was connected to courage, thymus, they said. And I touch this point here. And it's like telling to the body, have courage, be strong. When I can tell the same stuff speaking, but if I tell be strong, the words must be enter, they must be interpreted, they must create images, these images must create sensations, and maybe they will activate the same zone in the body. I go directly to this zone. We can go directly on the body, on the zone, because when we speak, we can feel sensation in the body. Let's go directly on the sensation. Why go too much mediate? We can go directly on the body. I want to tell something. It's not necessary to touch. This because I know some people say just massage therapists can touch sometimes in some countries. You can go very near. If you go with your hand like this, you will feel that your hand is there. No doubt, even if is because, and so in some way we can activate. It's even better because when we talk, this is the secret of magnetic passes. Because sometimes you see that I pass near the person and I don't touch. It's better not to touch many times because touching in some way can trigger some reaction. But going so near without touching will not trigger the same reactions. So this I answer because sometimes some people doesn't see this movement, doesn't understand. This movement works even on animals. Some people think a suggestion. Animals are not suggestible, but they can enter in a trance with passes because they will feel differently their body. So it's not a question of suggestion. Normally people, when they don't understand something about hypnosis, they say it's suggestion. Because instead of trying to understand why, because I say, and I don't give a very clear explication, they say, no, it's suggestion. But we can, in reality, get results with everybody. Also, something that we see with the non-verbal is that progressively we can get results with everybody on all the states. While normally, when we can go get somnambulism with everybody. I can say not at the same time, obviously, because some people will go faster, some people will go slower. Yes, this is true because we have different way of different point of departure. But it's like a science. It's like learning to a guy to throw his ball in the basket. Sure, there will be people that will maybe in one lesson will be able to do it. Maybe we will have some child that will learn 10, 20 times to put the ball in the basket. But if they go on, they will learn because it's natural. The states we create are natural states. And we work in the natural way, go inside and helping them getting there. Okay, so I see now I have done 45 minutes. I try to just synthesize the 2 or 3 elements that I told you before, and after I will open the space for asking, for answering, and for everybody, for everything that can be useful for everybody. Okay, so I spoke again the gaze, not blinking, expression of attention, being present, characteristic difference between verbal hypnosis and non-verbal hypnosis. I told also I showed many videos and I did some commentaries on the different moments where we work on the gaze. I showed this is very easy. With the gaze, we can have people change their flexibility, change immediately. So maybe I will show other video. Now I give space to questions. Want to be the first one? I have, in any case, I have a question about looking in front of the person or behind to the person with the gaze. What is the difference in effect when you do what technique? The difference is at the beginning, I tell to the person to look here. After, it's possible also to go through the person, a little behind the eyes, or even behind here. To exercise this way is not easy at the beginning. You should imagine the person is transparent. After we have different ways, looking the person in the right eye, left eye, the nose, the upper part. There are different ways in which we can use the gaze. That now is a little too long to explain. And sometimes some sequencing, even moving the eyes, some sequences can give results and let the conscious mind go apart. This is the answer that was Tao, somebody that did personally. Hello, Clayton. Man, I have also Max Otazu that from Mind Medical Academy. Sergio Martinez Garcia. Okay, I let you now. The person in the room, they can ask what they want. Who want to ask can ask. I will show another video. Profit of this occasion. I want to say to the people that is here, Mauro, if you want to ask something, also you are welcome. And also the new people, Alexander Smith and Tao Kofed, be not shy. You and Magdalena, okay? You can ask when you want. I will show you some video now about the gaze and Hannah. I have a wonderful, no, this is Italian, English, French, okay. We will see now a little of this is a verbal hypnosis, non-verbal approach. There is an approach in non-verbal hypnosis, but let's see, for example, some video. This one. This is one. There are two students of us, and just with the gaze, there are 11 steps. Wait a moment. I will comment. I will just put the audio when I icon device. Okay. Audio. Okay, it's okay. I go back. Allora, this is take physical contacts. Yes, because in some way the fact that she holds the hands together is helping also to do a little physical contact that will help a little more the gaze. In some way, it creates some. Now she uses different techniques. For example, she goes for back and forth and create a tunnel attention to your gaze. She creates a tunnel attention. The girl on the other side is already very much fascinated, but still she blinks a little, still there are some more elements. These are passes. I spoke about passes the other times. And now she did also fractional hypnosis, not written down, but in some way she wake her up and now she attracts. Now she's reacting even more. She attracts. It's very slow, this technique. Now she added a little more gaze. Now, I should say, this is a very slow video, more slow than other videos that we have. Don't use words. It's fractionation. She's ready to go down, the black girl, because I saw that when understand when she is ready to go deeper. Now she's reacting even more, and now she's ready to go deeper. And this is an induction with the gaze. She blew it to wake her up 4 times, but she didn't wake even up. So she continued to work with the proximity we call magnetic passes to deepen the trance, because magnetic passes can deepen a lot the trance. In reality, the girl doesn't want to wake up. Okay, but now she wants to take again the gaze to bring her probably a little deeper. Because now she's fascinated, she will follow. And this is an example of using the gaze. Okay, when she went down, Hannah, okay, now the girl is already more let go. She does a little of catalepsy. She does some other stuff. And she does also analgesia. This is a state that we can have from the first very fast. One of the things that are very different between verbal hypnosis and non-verbal hypnosis, that if catalepsy is one of the first states you get. Some people that does step 10 act on relevant points. This is what I told before, that some points can help to create an induction. When she will, and after she was fantastic. Okay. I close down, so you have seen some good video now. Martin Waters, okay, and I have explained to you some elements that are there. Okay, I see another question that arises for me, that is from, I don't know from where, but Shiva Sevananda. Can hypnosis help in curing chronic diseases? Yes, it depends. I should say that a question like this is very general. Hypnosis, non-verbal hypnosis, can help practically always. After, if you are more precise, I can even be more precise in answering. Okay, Tao, tell me.
Yeah, how about like increasing your, what do you call it?
The strength of the gaze.
Increasing your pencils or your eyes, making them bigger.
Ah, the eyes bigger, see. If the eyes are big, it depends a little which phases you are. If you are in an initial phase, and sometimes you have the eyes a little smaller because you are attentive. If you want to do personal magnetism, it's true that the eyes, if they are bigger, they are more effective. The more we see the white of the eyes, the more this is even I cannot say, but if I do a screenshot, or it's even proved that when we see a little blank of the eyes, white of the eyes, the attention go more, and this has been even proved in YouTube thumbnails. They say it's good to have people looking, and that you can say the white of the eyes, because otherwise the closed eyes don't get so much effect when and because in some way they catch the attention. So in some way, if you have the eyes open but not open, it depends on the face, obviously, because if you have a client and with this client you are working, you can have even a strong face. It's also something important. Sometimes people look at me and say, you have a strange face. But they see from the exterior, not from the internal. Because when you are the subject, your perception will change. You don't see really as I am, you see differently. From the exterior, I can have a strange face. But from the interior, it means for the subject, maybe the face is not so strange because it's so concentrated in the eyes that it doesn't notice so much the other elements. We must understand that the person, when he's fascinated, reacts differently, even to lateral movement, than a normal person. Normal person is more dispersed with the gaze, with everything, and has a different pattern of view. Now, it's a little difficult to explain it in a moment, but a fascinated person has a tunnel vision, as it was told in the, and so in some way this tunnel vision can mean that external movement will stimulate a little the unconscious, because they will not be processed by the conscious mind, and also he's very concentrated, and he see more the eyes, and he likes to see the eyes, the big eyes, because he doesn't do confrontation with the rest of the face. And Mauro Cavalcante, hello, tell me.
Hello.
A moment, Mauro. Tao, do we have an answer to your question? Do I have? Okay, you have still something. Okay, you will come after I ask Mauro, and after I come back to you. Okay, Mauro.
Okay. How I can keep the people just fascination and they don't go to a trance hypnotic?
In reality, I want to say you have people, so you say that you practice fascination, you get people fascinated, and after they don't go in an hypnotic trance. In reality, you should, there are two elements to do. When you should mix eyes with passes, body, eyes and gaze, and this will deepen the trance, because the trance will you can think that after that the visual factor will be saturated, the person can go in a trance, but we should say that already fascination is a trance, because in reality we could see different types of trance. And we can have a very, very strong fascination where the person practically will obey even to intentions, the video that we showed you before, and where we can heal a person just looking him into the eyes. And in reality, the person will be in a tunnel vision. And it will be alert in some way, but not as a normal person. Every people that you see my video, when they are fascinated, are alert because they are following me, but in reality they are in a strange state. We should explain that in some way. I do many times comparison between hypnosis and drinking wine, because when you drink wine, you think, it's nothing. I have drunk a bottle, yes, but I am very strong, I can hold the bottle. But in reality, from the exterior, we see that people doesn't hold the bottle. So in some way, the internal point of reference is different from the external. If you see that a person begins to have, like this, is good fascinated, after you can do some other elements, and after you close his eyes, so you do passes, normally should go in a trance very, very easily. Okay? And I should say that this is almost sure. After fascination, if you speak of classical trance, somnambulism, that the ancient called somnambulism. Tao, I want to finish your question. Tell me.
So when you have the person in a trance and you want to focus on a certain body part, for example, would you also like feel that body part yourself, like you're connecting with their, so your body part and their body part, and that way like healing or changing their perception or their healing?
I will give a different element. Yes, but not rationally, because it's something that you don't do rationally. It's not that you think I must connect this part with this part. It's more a body-to-body connection. And also, third point, you should remember to stay in the presence, because otherwise you will feel too much the other person. Because it's true that there are some healers that in some way they take the problems of the other persons, and some way they can even heal, but it's not good for their health. In reality, if you are present, you create like a movement, so you have a small sensation of the other, not a big sensation, I should say. Something that in some way you are aware at an unconscious level, because I know, for example, when I work with a person, when she has still something to do. And many times, for example, I do the PISA method, I work, movement, and many times I say, you have still something on the left. I feel, it's like I am in the other person, and I feel exactly what is left. Even if they doesn't tell, because I should say, sometimes with the PISA we put away everything. Sometimes we put half, and after we repeat and we can put away. But the strange stuff is that when you do, and you have put away half of the pain, even if the other doesn't say, you know where the pain left is, and also how much, as you were the other. There was an expression that used Virgilio, that was one of my masters, that described this state. You are the other person that is you. I repeat, you are the other person that is you. Some way you are connected. It's not the classical perceptual position. It's a strange perceptual position, but exists, you can feel, and is very good. I should think that the mirror will help it, because in the mirror you are the other that is you. So if you do a lot of exercise with the mirror, in some way it becomes naturally. Because in the mirror, you are the person in front of you. That the person in front of you is you. So do exercise with the mirror. Magdalena Farish. Okay, tell me your question.
Hello, just a quick one. Does our breath being synchronized with their breath help, or does it matter?
You don't need to think to it. It will happen. Mostly with a technique that I didn't show now, that is called the La Fontaine, that we teach in our courses, when we stay in front of the other person, and at a certain point we feel that we go together. But it's not something that we do rationally as in NLP. It's something that we let happen. It's very well explained by an on-site magnetist that said this imitation, we don't know if it is a cause or an effect. An effect of what? Of the deep feeling you create with the other person. That is not the breathing together, but is something more deeper, something deeper. I hope to be clear. Okay, I see that we have, I wanted to do 1 hour, it's 9:35, so I let still, I read some question, I let one last question after we will finish now this moment of today. I want to say that we will organize a course. We have a new course that will begin in a few days. This course is about gaze, fascination, magnetism. This course will begin on 28th. The course will be in the course is 12 lessons, 2 hours and a half each one. We have a lot of material, a lot of elements, and it is very, very helpful to change. And after, if you come and you practice live, because we have courses all around the globe where we go, we teach, we do, you can come and you will experiment directly, and you pay a little difference normally. You come and you can transform yourself coming to our live courses. So you have the two experience together, the online course and the offline course. And the offline course is good, but the online course is also good because we see that when we meet us to do in the past, when we did the lessons, we were bound too much, too strict to a program. But now that we see that 90% of the persons that come in the offline course come from the online course, we see that many people know already the basics, and so we can do a lot more than we did before. So it's good if you practice both. It's good because you give when you arrive to the offline course, so we can do more exercise and we don't need too much to speak, to explain, and so on. They are very transformative. Michael, tell me what you want to say.
I have from a different book, the spiral exercise, and in it mentions to hold it about 11 inches away, slightly above the eyes. I'm assuming that this is using the ocular lock. This is to strengthen the gaze.
Okay,
if
Michael,
I used it.
I want to say, you are speaking about the ocular lock, some elements that come from the courses. Today, we have more people that is more basic, so it's not, if you have this question, maybe you can bring us, I will answer to you, so tell me, but I need to translate it a little to the people that is here. The ocular lock is an exercise that we do, and what is your question exactly?
Well, if I were to incorporate that, say, every other day, using that image, one day, another day with the mirror, would that make the gaze stronger, quicker, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I should say, it can be good. I tried everything. It's just the continuity that gives you the result. If you want to the spirals, I have used it. They are good. They can bring you in some other states. They help you also to exercise fixation. So it is good to do it, to do them. They are very easy to do because if you decide to look at them without blink, is good. If you do the oculomotor blockage, is very good before because it's a state that we are already in a state of hypnosis. To become stronger also, you must practice sometimes, let yourself being hypnotized by yourself that is in the mirror. In reality, you are hypnotizing yourself, but if you put yourself, you look at yourself in your right eyes, and you let yourself as being hypnotized by the other person, that is you, it will be you will go faster. This is one of the fastest way to increase. So let yourself being hypnotized, and also work on the both hemispheres of the mind, even that also, because some you don't even stay present. In reality, if you stay present, you don't think you can even hold a lot of time. Okay. I have answered. Mauro, you were in one of my live courses, I think, or not? In the past? No, not yet. Okay. Okay, and okay, I think I have answered to many questions. Gorie, Amin, and Alexander Schmidt, I have to go, looking forward to start of the course next week. Okay, Alexander Schmidt, I am happy you will be there with us. And I should say that Shiva Shemananda asked if we can help for kidney. Yes, it's possible in general. Hypnosis can be or help or in many different elements. Mills L, hi Marco, this is my first time watching your webinar. Thank you for sharing this. My question is, the gaze trance, same as this hypnotic trance, is the inner ear intended to be quicker? Fascination is a state in itself, I should say. Is a state very specific. Today we spoke about the gaze. That is hypnosis in itself, but is a state of hypnosis that is different from the other hypnotic states. It's not somnambulism, it's not lethargy, it's not catalepsy, it's fascination. This is what I want to tell. Okay, we have done 10 minutes more, but I hope to see you again or on the different video. Thanks to everybody. I close here. Thanks Mauro, thanks Martins, thanks Tao, thanks Magdalena, Gurie, Amin, and thanks also to the other persons that are not there in the moment. Bye bye. See us in the future. Bye bye.